Hi, everybody. Welcome to the House of More Politics. This is the DLM 100, and I want to discuss something that's been in the news lately. Senator Ted Cruz and whether or not he's a natural born citizen. It's They brought it up in debates. Donald Trump was blasting about it. Some reporter asked Donald Trump about it, and he said that, hey, there's been some speculation of whether or not he's a natural born citizen or not, and it hasn't been settled in the courts. Well, I saw the debate, and I've been trying to find a clip, but I finally found a clip. I got it from the International Business Times, and it was from the Fox Business Republican debate that happened a couple of weeks ago, in which he discussed whether or not he is in fact a natural born citizen and can run for president. So I want you to take a look at this clip from the debate, hear his reasons as to why he thinks he is a natural born citizen and can run, that he meet the criteria of the Constitution. And then once the clip is over, we'll come back and I'll discuss it and give you my take on it.
Back in September, my friend Donald said that he had had his lawyers look at this from every which way. And there was no issue there. There was nothing to this birther issue. Now, since September, the Constitution hasn't changed. But the poll numbers have. And I recognize that Donald is dismayed that his poll numbers are falling in Iowa. But the facts and the law here are really quite clear. Under long-standing U.S. law, the child of a U.S. citizen born abroad is a natural-born citizen. If a soldier has a child abroad, that child is a natural-born citizen. That's why John McCain, even though he was born in Panama, was eligible to run for president. If an American missionary has a child abroad, that child is a natural-born citizen. That's why George Romney, Mitt's dad, was eligible to run for president, even though he was born in Mexico. You're an American, as is everybody else on this stage, and I would suggest we focus.
Okay, we just listened to what Ted Cruz explained as far as why he think he is eligible, or that he meets the criteria to run for president or become president of the United States. He cited U.S. law. Yeah, I think he even mentioned the U.S. Constitution, but he grazed over that. But he did state that U.S. law stipulates these things that he mentioned. Let me read to you what the Constitution says. I got this from heritage.org. It's I think it's a conservative-leaning website. But this is what Article 2, Section 1, Clause 5 of the Constitution, it states, and I quote, "No person except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of president. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 years and been 14 years a resident within the United States." So what that says is you have to be at least 35. You have to be a natural-born citizen, and you have to have stayed in America for at least 14 years. Okay. Ted Cruz went on to mention John McCain. John McCain was born in, I think, about 1936. He was born in Panama, in the militarized zone in Panama. When his father, John McCain, I think I think his son is like the fourth. I think John McCain II was a admiral, I think, or he was an officer. I'll say he was an officer in the U.S. Navy, serving in Panama. John McCain was born down there. He was born technically on technically U.S. soil, because the Panama Canal at the time belonged to the United States. So he would meet the criteria as far as being born a natural-born citizen. And of course, he's lived in America over 14 years. He also stated, he also mentioned George Romney. George Romney was born in Mexico. His family was down there on a Mormon missionary mission. So that meets the criteria according to U.S. law, not the Constitution, but the U.S. law. So he states, okay, that's why George Romney can run for president or become president. So, but the difference with Ted Cruz is that Ted Cruz was born in Canada to an American mother, a natural-born citizen. His mother was an American, and his father was a native of Cuba. I think they met in Texas and they moved to Canada, and she was on some kind of business thing. I think she was on some business trip, or she was working in Canada, and they had Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz was born in Canada, and he's saying because his mother was an American citizen, he by right can pick up on her citizenship and become a natural born citizen. That's not the way the Constitution reads, and I'm not the only one that's saying this. There's a lot of constitutional scholars and constitutional professors and lawyers that are saying, and even some judges I've been reading, that that don't meet the criteria. First of all, his mother was not on a missionary mission for the United States, or for whatever reason, she was not on a missionary mission, and his mother was not in the military. He was not born on a military base, so technically he was not born on U.S. soil. So does that make him eligible or ineligible? I think that it makes him ineligible to run, because okay, now you got this problem that with Ted Cruz saying that he's eligible, but I can remember, was it 2007, 2008, when a certain man by the name of Barack Hussein Obama II was running for president, and they were saying, oh, he was born in Kenya, he can't be a president, he was born in Kenya, he spent 7 years in Indonesia, he can't be president. If that was in fact the case, if Barack Obama met the same criteria as Ted Cruz, that would still make him eligible to run for president, would it not? We all know that Barack Obama was born to a Kenyan father and a Kansas native in Hawaii back in, like, I think 1961. So, but they're saying that Barack Obama, because his father was Kenyan, and let's just say that Barack was born in Kenya, wouldn't he still be eligible? But oh, it's okay. Oh, okay. So most people are saying that it's not okay for Barack to be born in Kenya, but it's okay for Ted Cruz to be born in Canada under the same scenario. See, that makes no sense. So, but like I said, based on the Constitution and the way the Constitution is worded, I feel, and again, I'm not a constitutional scholar. I'm not some big hotshot lawyer. I'm not a judge. I don't know that much about law except the history behind it, because I love history and I love politics. But based on my knowledge and based on what I've read and what I've seen and what I've heard, Ted Cruz is not eligible. Now, just recently I put on the House of More that this lawyer in Chicago filed a suit in, I think, like a district court to get Ted Cruz off the ballot in Chicago. The judge right now is trying to decide whether or not he or she has jurisdiction on that case. If she, I think it's a female, if she feels like she has jurisdiction, then she's going to hear the case. Ted Cruz's campaign is trying to get that case dismissed because not because Ted Cruz is a citizen, but I think they're trying to get it dismissed because Ted Cruz was not served notice. He was not served notice that he was going to be sued on this basis. See, that's a technicality. He's trying to get that kicked out. He's not trying to kick out on the precedent or the fact that, oh, I'm a natural born citizen, so this should be kicked out because it's frivolous. No, he's trying to get it kicked out on a technicality. See, this is a lawyer. Ted Cruz was Solicitor General from Texas, I think. He's argued in front of the Supreme Court about 9 or 10 times. So this man knows the law. He worked at the Supreme Court, I think, as an intern or as an assistant to one of the justices. So this man is no idiot. He's a very smart man. So and he's gonna use every lawyer tactic and every lawyer trick to finagle his way to the presidency. But again, what's his name? Donald Trump. Donald Trump is saying, hey, in that clip, I cut it short so I'd have to go through the whole clip. But in that clip, he is saying, hey, I won't do it, but the Democrats will. If they feel like this guy is not a natural born citizen, they may file suit. Somebody will file suit on the Democratic side, whether it could be a grieving politician, it may be some elector in a state. But if they really see that Ted Cruz may get the nomination, they may file suit. And let's just say he gets the Republican nomination and he gets elected on November 4th. Well, if someone files suit on the president-elect. He can't assume office until it's been adjudicated by the Supreme Court. So what Donald Trump is saying, hey, you need to go get some kind of declaration from the Supreme Court saying, hey, this is stamped and sealed. I'm a natural born citizen and I can run. You might want to do it now before we get into the general election. Somebody sue you, and now we don't have no president until all this is straightened out. So what do you think? Based on Article 2, Section 1, Clause 5 of the U.S. Constitution, is Ted Cruz a natural born citizen or not? Again, give me some feedback, give me some thoughts, give me some likes. This is the DLM 100. I'm out. Take care.